Well, after several hours of flattening, actually a couple hours probably, hour and a half, I got it down somewhat, and there's just a little bit of sawdust here. Holy smokes. Is this piece warped up big time? Look at the sawdust. Look at how thick it is. Today I was working on the tabletop again, and I took out my Dremel tool because I didn't want to use my rough sander. I wanted to keep the detail on the edge, so I got that done. Then I went around and did the flat spots with my sander. Then I set it down flat and I blew off all the sawdust, and then I sprayed it down with water to pop the grain on it. This raises the grain. This happens every time you get a piece of wood wet. I let that dry, and then I sanded it all down again. Then it was time to remove the board from the table and put down some plastic, because I'm going to do some epoxy work on it. So I rolled out my plastic, cut it off, spread it out nice, put my tabletop on there, and then I put some wood underneath it, blew it off really good with the air hose, and then got the epoxy ready. Here I'll be putting a thin coat of epoxy on the bottom, and then I'll flip it over and put a thin coat on the top. This is to seal the wood and make it easier when I go to pour the top coat or pour the other colors in, because otherwise the wood sucks up the epoxy and bubbles come up. So I'd rather have them come up with a thin layer than with a really thick layer of epoxy. All in all, it turned out pretty good, and I'll sand this down after it dries and start pouring in the crevices.